Okay, we're back. We're ready to go ahead and do our grout on this piece. What we're going to want to do is make sure all of our edges that have been brought up to a minimum of 100 grit, grind on that. Our top surface 400 grit grind. Once we've done that, we make sure that we get all the exposure that we want, that we don't have that creaminess on the surface. We've taken that all off. Now, when we do our grout, we're going to have our grout, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. One side powder and one side liquid. The liquid side is just water and pigment, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a gram scale, and this is by weight, a 1-to-1, and I'm going to go ahead and start out right here. We can go up to 25% on our pigment loading of our liquid side. Now, the lower that we are, the harder our grout's going to be and the better it's going to be. So I like to keep it kind of low. So we're going to measure out right here, and we're going to do a 100 gram batch. So I'm going to start out by putting in here this white pigment that I have. And I'm just going to put in 5. So I've got 5 grams of this white. And now I'm going to take some water. I'm going to bring that right up to 100. Okay, I've got a spoon to kind of mix that together a little bit. Make sure that you mix your pigment and water together first before you add your powdered side. It's very important if you want the color to mix in well. Okay, now I'm going to add another 100 grams of my powder. Alright, now I'm going to mix that up a little bit in this cup. Now you can mix this up just in a cup. We also have a little magic bullet type blender here. That'll kind of help get all of the stuff dissolved in, all the different chemicals dissolved into the paste. So the magic bullet's a little bit faster, but you can actually do it by hand as well. And you just need to make sure that it has no grittiness and that it's all dissolved in well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take that, pour that right into this here. Now when you do this, make sure that that you clean these tools and anything that you're using with the grout right as soon as possible. So we've got our grout that's blended up for about 20-30 seconds with our magic bullet. One thing that you need to remember on the grout is the liquid grout's going to look a lot darker than it's going to cure. And so everything you want, if you want to test a section, there's lots of good areas to test on these back edges to check your color and everything, let that cure out and dry out. And then you can kind of get it damp and see what it's going to look like. So if you don't know, once you get kind of a grout recipe down, make sure you keep your recipe. So you're good to go. Now this stuff's very fluid. I've got 2 different tools here that I like to use. The first one is a taping knife. The second one is this hard rubber grout trowel. It's not a black one. It is not going to leave black marks. One thing that you've got to remember about the grout is that you've got to kind of keep stirring it or it's going to set off on you. And so I'm just going to take some of this. You'll see it's very liquid. And I'm just going to pour some of this out on the surface. And you can see that that's quite a bit darker color than my surface. Don't be alarmed because that's perfectly normal. Now I can work this in with this taping knife to kind of work it all into the surface. And you want to go different directions. You can also use this rubber grout trowel to work that in as well. Making sure that you really work it into the surface and fill all the little pinholes, everything like that. Now as this stuff kind of sets out on the surface, you can kind of let it soak in. It'll actually start to set up a little bit on the surface a lot faster than it will in the cup. So as that does that and it thickens up a little bit, that's when we like to take some of this and go and work it into these edges right here. And even like a spot like this where it's rounded, I can really get in there good just even with my fingers like that and work it in well. And especially on kind of that first pass, it really helps a lot. So we're just going to go ahead and grout this. If you need to do however many passes you need to do to get it smooth, you can leave a build and grind it back down, or you can do several passes and kind of get it really tight. Do 2, 3, 4 passes, however many it takes for you to get your nice flat surface. And then once this stuff is cured out for about 2 hours, then we're ready to go ahead and sand this stuff off of here. And so that'll be the next step.